Hey there, garden heroes. It's July. Maybe you glanced at your plot and thought, oops, I waited too long. Not true. You can still plant 13 powerful crops that thrive even this late. I'm talking root veggies, greens, beans, brassicas, you name it. And guess what? The clue is all about their growing time and how to give them a strong start. Need a garden sidekick this July or August? Get the StrongEcho.com AI gardening app, your always-on-call garden buddy. Ask the AI anything and get instant answers. Plus, use the built-in Pest, Plant, and Disease Identifier to solve problems before they ruin your harvest. It's like having a garden expert in your pocket. Try it today for free. Share your July planting plan in the comments, and let's make these gardens boom. You can grow it. 1. Bush beans. Why July works. Bush beans mature in just 50 to 60 days and thrive in warm soil. July heat actually speeds them along. Steps to success. Soak seeds overnight, improves germination in hot, possibly dry midsummer conditions. Plant 1 to 2 centimeter deep, 5 centimeters apart in rows spaced 45 centimeters. Water consistently. Aim for moist, not soggy soil, especially during flowering. Mulch lightly with straw or compost to retain moisture. Tips and tricks. Thin seedlings to 8 to 10 centimeters apart as they grow. Harvest frequently. Pick every few days to encourage more pods. Mistakes to avoid. Overcrowding leads to disease. Letting soil dry out. Beans hate stress. 2. Carrots. Why July works. Carrots thrive in cooler fall temperatures, but can be sown in midsummer, especially quick-maturing varieties. Steps to success. Choose short-season types like Nantes, Chantenay, or Little Finger. Maturity in 55 to 70 days. Work soil deeply, removing stones and clumps. Sow seeds very thinly, just 0.5 centimeter deep and 2 centimeters apart in rows 30 centimeters apart. Keep soil evenly moist. Use a fine mist watering can daily. Thin to 10 centimeters when seedlings are 2 centimeters tall, so roots have space. Tips and tricks. Mulch with compost to prevent flash heat on the soil surface. Cover lightly with shade cloth for the first week if the sun's blasting. Mistakes to avoid. Don't skip thinning. Crowded roots twist and fork. Avoid letting the top dry out. Cracked roots are no fun. 3. Cucumbers. Why July works. They love heat and long daylight, but planting now means reaching peak size before autumn. Steps to success. Plant dual-purpose short-season cucumbers, maturity in 55 days. Use a trellis or vertical support, 45-30 centimeter spacing. Water heavily at the base 2 to 3 times a week, depending on dryness. Mulch well to hold moisture and keep roots cool. Feed with a balanced soluble fertilizer every 2 to 3 weeks. Tips and tricks. Hand pollinate if bees are scarce. Transfer pollen with a small brush. Harvest when fruit is firm and 15 to 20 centimeters long. Mistakes to avoid. Letting vines sprawl invites pests and mildew. Underwatering, small, bitter fruit. 4. Swiss chard. Why July works. It's heat tolerant and can be harvested continuously, even planted late. Steps to success. Soak seeds overnight to help them sprout fast. Sow 2 centimeter deep, 20 to 25 centimeters apart. Water deeply when soil is dry. Chard tolerates drought, but prefers moist. Mulch to suppress weeds and keep roots cool. Pick outer leaves regularly. Partial harvest encourages new growth. Tips and tricks. Harvest before leaves get bigger than a dinner plate. It keeps them tender. Adds pops of red or yellow if you grow colorful varieties. Mistakes to avoid. Letting slugs or snails munch away. Handpick them early in the morning. Ignoring aphid buildups. Spray mild soapy water if needed. 5. Zucchini. Why July works. Zucchini loves heat and grows explosively. Planted now, you'll have a bounty within 45 to 55 days. Steps to success. Choose compact bush types with short maturity. Space plants 60 centimeters apart. Mulch and water consistently, about 2 centimeters of water day. Pick fruit every 2 to 3 days. Optional feeding. Side dress with compost at planting and mid-season. Tips and tricks. Plant 1 male and female flower pair for pollination, though bees usually do the job. Pick at 10 to 15 centimeters long for tenderness. Mistakes to avoid. Skipping mulch leads to sun scald on ripening fruit. Ignoring pest problems. Check undersides of leaves for squash bugs early. 6. Kale. Why July works. July plantings avoid the cabbage maggot peak, and you'll have harvest-ready greens by autumn. Steps to success. Start seeds indoors or direct sow and garden in July. Space seedlings 30 centimeters apart. Mulch and water deeply at least 2 to 3 this week. Provide shade cloth 40% for afternoon heat. Side dress with compost after 4 weeks. Tips and tricks. Harvest bottom leaves regularly. New ones will push through. Pick before first frost for sweetest flavor. Mistakes to avoid: letting foliage touch soil. Mold thrives there. High nitrogen too early, big leaves, no stem, but that's usually fine for salad greens. 7. Beets. Why July works. They take 55 to 65 days and thrive in cool fall soils, so late July sowings are perfect. Steps to success: sow 2 centimeters deep, 5 centimeters apart, in rows 30 centimeters apart. Thin seedlings to 10 centimeters once they're 5 centimeters tall. Maintain even moisture. Don't let them dry out. Mulch lightly to conserve moisture and suppress weeds. You can harvest greens early for fresh salads. Tips and tricks: keep soil pH near 6.8. Add lime if too acidic. Harvest roots when golf ball to tennis ball size. Mistakes to avoid: over-thinning. Leave enough plants to feed. Harvesting only tops. Roots are the prize. 8. Radishes. Why July works. Radishes mature in just 3 to 4 weeks, great for fast, late-season crunch. Steps to success: scatter seeds lightly 1 centimeter deep, 2 centimeters apart. Rows should be 15 centimeters apart. Water daily, keeps growth fast and flavor mild. Use partial shade midday to avoid bolting. Harvest small radishes early, before 3 centimeters diameter. Tips and tricks: alternating green manure rows keeps soil healthy after harvest. Mix pull sizes in salads for variety. Mistakes to avoid: waiting too long. Radishes become woody, dry soil, spicy, cracked radishes. 9. Turnips. Why July works. Turnips mature in about 60 days and enjoy cooler September temps. Steps to success: sow 1.5 centimeter deep, 10 centimeters apart. Rows 30 meters apart. Top dress with compost at planting. Water consistently, about twice weekly unless it rains. Harvest when roots are 5 to 7 centimeters across for best texture. Don't forget the greens. They're delicious sautéed or in soups. Tips and tricks: use pale or purple top types for variety. Use roots within 2 weeks. Older ones get pungent. Mistakes to avoid: letting turnips grow too 10 centimeters. They get woody. Overcrowding reduces root size. 10. Lettuce. Why July works. Heat-resistant types like buttercrunch and romaine still thrive, especially in partial shade. Steps to success: sow in partial shade, or undershade cloth. Broadcast seeds or plant 20 centimeters apart. Water deeply daily if heat is intense. Mulch to keep soil cool. Harvest outer leaves or full heads once ready. Tips and tricks: try cut and come again. Harvest outer leaves and let center regrow. Succession: sow every 10 to 14 days for a steady supply. Mistakes to avoid: planting in full sun at midday. Bolting happens fast. Drying out or wilting ends lettuce dreams. 11. Green onions, scallions. Why July works. These fast growers root to harvest in 50-60 days, handle summer, and regenerate well. Steps to success: sow seeds or transplant sets 2 centimeters deep, 10 centimeters apart in rows. Water well until 2 centimeters of rain week is reached. Mulch lightly to retain moisture. Harvest greens when pencil thickness or pull whole for bulbs. They relax, regenerate, and keep growing if you trim leaves instead of pulling. Tips and tricks: use scallion ends for homemade vegetable broth. Edge of your crop bed is perfect for easy harvest greens. Mistakes to avoid: letting plants flower, they go bitter. Crowding reduces bulb size. 12. Spinach. Why July works. It typically bolts in summer, but if you sow now for autumn with shade and water, you can plant fast-growing varieties that handle cool nights. Steps to success: choose bolt-resistant types like Bloomsdale. Sow 1 centimeters deep, 10 centimeters apart in rows under shade cloth, 40%. Water early morning only. Keep soil damp, never wet. Mulch lightly to hold moisture and reduce heat. Succession: sow every 2 weeks for continuous harvest. Harvest when leaves are edible size. Don't let them stretch out. Tips and tricks: use shade cloth 30 to 40% to reduce heat stress. Cool, damp conditions help prevent bolting. Mistakes to avoid: letting soil dry out. Bolting comes fast. Starting too shallow. Roots need depth to handle drought. 13. Broccoli. Why July works. Starting broccoli now in containers or seed trays and transplanting in late summer leads to fall-winter harvest. Best flavor after light frosts. Steps to success: start seeds indoors or in trays in July, about 6 weeks before transplant. Grow seedlings under around 18 degrees Celsius until they're 8 to 12 centimeters tall. Harden off for a week in mid-August. Transplant outdoors in late August in fertile, compost-rich soil. Space plants 45 centimeters apart in rows 60 centimeters apart. Water deeply every 5 to 7 days or 2 centimeters total each week. Side dress with compost when heads start forming. Harvest main head first, then side shoots 10 to 14 days later. Tips and tricks: use netting to protect against cabbage worms. Pinch off yellowing leaves to encourage head growth. Mistakes to avoid: Overfeeding nitrogen, too many leaves, dull heads. Ignoring pests, check for caterpillars often. Well, gardeners, there you have it. 13 late-season champs you can still plant in July and grow right into fall. Each one is fast, pretty chill, and packed with flavor. Need a garden sidekick this July or August? Get the StrongEcho.com AI gardening app, your always-on-call garden buddy. Ask the AI anything and get instant answers. Plus, use the built-in Pest, Plant, and Disease Identifier to solve problems before they ruin your harvest. It's like having a garden expert in your pocket. Try it today for free. Tell me in the comments what you're planting next. Smash the like button if this helped, and subscribe for more dirt-to-door tips. We'll see you next week with more garden genius ideas.